What was your "this person is on another level of stupid" moment? I locked my purse with my keys and cell phone in my apartment. I went to the office to ask maintenance to let me in. The woman at the desk said she would call maintenance and asked for a phone number they could reach me at. I said there wasn't one because my cell phone was locked in my apartment. She insisted she needed a number. I said I could give her the number but that I wouldn't be able to answer if they called. She suggested I get my phone out of my apartment so that I could answer when they called. I rolled my eyes at her and said if I could get in my apartment to get my cell phone I wouldn't need maintenance to let me in. She never did understand me. But maintenance did show up 10 minutes later. Update, since a lot of people are asking. You don't need a key to lock the door to the apartment, just to unlock it. On the way out the door, I turned the lock on the back of the doorknob and then pulled the door shut, locking the door. I had put my keys in my purse because I was also carrying a laptop bag and a few other things. I thought I picked up my purse with the other bags but I hadn't. Yes, I know I was stupid for locking myself out. Thank you, kind stranger, for the gold. I had a similar situation when I locked my keys in my car and had to call AMA, roadside assistance, and the lady asked for my AMA number. I explained that it was in my wallet which was in my car, and she asked me to retrieve it. I explained several times but she never did seem to understand, but she told me that I would be in big trouble if the tow truck driver came and I didn't have a number. He never even asked me for it, cause they're not directly employed by AMA. I once worked in a Midwestern grocery store deli and I was trying to explain to a woman that the name brand and generic brand of the macaroni salad that we carried were in fact identical. The woman yelled at me saying she could only have the generic brand because one is made with mayo and the other is made with mayonnaise and I don't like mayo. When I tried to explain that mayo is an abbreviation of mayonnaise, she just said, "I'm from the South, I know my food," and tutted away. She is going to be in for a shock when she goes to the pharmacy. For her prescription of mayonnaise. Yeah, she got it at the Mayo Clinic. Personally, I would only go to the mayonnaise clinic. Just so we're all clear. The Mayo Clinic and Mayonnaise Clinic are in fact the same clinic. Unless you're in the South. Well, I'm from the South and I know my clinics. I got a concussion a while back. A friend of mine told me not to come close because it might be contagious. They weren't kidding. A girl in my school had gotten about 3 concussions within a year, and when she hit her head the 4th time, and blacked out for a minute, refused to go to the doctor because last time they said if I got another concussion it could cause brain damage, so I'm not going to let them give me another one. Edit, because so many people saw this and are asking, no, she did not play any sports, she was just incredibly stupid and clumsy even before the first one. I think the third one might have done it for her. Ex-flatmate cancelled the gas and electricity contract because it was too expensive. Wondered why we had no more electricity nor gas. She thought we paid $90 a month to get a hotline $247 in case of problem. I was friends with a couple who only had enough money to pay either the cable bill or the electricity. They paid the cable. A couple days later the power was turned off. Reminds me of choosing beer over toilet paper. Obviously beer. As long as you have access to water then your hands can be washed. I worked at a restaurant and we had a dish that was just a whole grilled chicken chopped into pieces. A woman who ordered for delivery called us, absolutely scathing, complaining that her order of 1 whole chicken only contained 2 chicken breasts. Had to explain to grown-ass woman that chicken only have 2 breasts. Edit, to clarify, the rest of the chicken was also there. She was just expecting more than 2 chicken breasts. She stated this clearly to both me and my manager, who she insisted she speak to over this inconvenience. She wanted some of that Total Recall chicken. Make her wish she had 3 mouths. I had to explain to a girl why you couldn't grow your hair down in front of your face and just cut out eye holes. Even explaining it to her she couldn't grasp it and brushed me off as being too smart. This is my favorite one, lol. I worked at a pet store in college. This customer asked me which food would make his pit bull swole. I suggested a high-protein food with a good amount of exercise but advised that a lot of it was determined by the dog's genetics. He asked me if we sold genetics. Rescued a coworker on the side of the road with a flat tire, waiting for the tow truck. I pointed out the nail at the top of their tire. They scoffed and looked at me like I was the stupidest person in the world, and exclaimed, "That's not true BC, it's flat at the bottom." I just walked away and never brought it up again. Gosh, what an idiot. Nails are always flat on the top. Except those pesky left-handed nails. I had a bucket of nails one time that was almost 50% left-handed. I was friends with a guy who believed those fake Apple adverts like Apple Wave, microwave your phone for instant battery charge. I was so dumbfounded that he actually fell for it. When I saw him the week after and he had a new phone, it all clicked for me. At least he's got the money to fund his idiocy. This was my first experience in retail where I learned what many customers would be like. Seasons were changing, so we put a lot of shirts we had to get rid of in the front and made them 50% off. I was working the register when a woman came up to buy her things. I rang her up and could see a look on her face like something was wrong. That's when the following happened. Lady, why is this so much? Me, pardon me? Lady, this should only be $10, not $20. I thought that maybe her item was on sale, so I asked if she could point out the sign because I wasn't aware of it. It was a small store and we didn't have to walk anywhere. Lady, this sign here. Me, a sign says that all shirts are 50% off. Lady, yes, so why is this full price? Me, this is a hat. I used to work with a girl who was sweet but so dumb. We were in a meeting once and somehow someone mentioned baked ham. My manager said, "Ugh, I hate ham. It looks like human flesh." The girl I mentioned was sitting next to me and looked horrified and whispered, "Does ham really come from people?" I'd be more worried about the manager that knows what cooked human flesh looks like. When I served in the King's African Rifles, the local Zambezi tribesmen called human flesh long pig. Never much cared for it. Woodhouse, you old smackhound. My wife's cousin and her husband, not baby daddy of her unborn child, fell on self-induced hard times and needed a place to stay for a bit. We set up a queen-sized air mattress in the living room for them. For 3 weeks I woke up to go to work and every morning saw them sleeping on it sideways with their legs hanging off the edge. Then one day she asked me to buy her a bigger air mattress because this one was hard on their backs. I told her to turn her body, the ducking thing even has a built-in pillow on one end. Her response was that then they couldn't see the TV. Then fucking turn the air mattress to face the TV. That's the story of how I became an asshole to the trailer trash side of the family. The bad part is that it's only one of many stories. The husband was a cook at Applebee's. The baby daddy was a cook at Applebee's, and her new husband was another cook from the same fucking Applebee's. All working together. Did she also work at Applebee's? Also, was this in Crosby, TX by chance? I've heard some messed up stuff about that Applebee's. Yes, she was a hostess. No, not Crosby, but you're scary close. Like uncomfortably close. But of Houston generally? Just commenting because I'm also from Southeast Houston, my BF is from Highlands, and we think we know exactly which Applebee's you're talking about. I was in Highland for work on Friday. There's a very friendly pregnant donkey who lives there. That is a complete list of good things in Highlands. I know a lot of recovering addicts in the Houston area and I have heard a lot of stories about that one Applebee's. I was once asked how it felt to come to the US as a refugee. I'm from Germany. She then looked rather surprised when I told her that Hitler has been dead for 75 years and that Germany is one of the more liberal countries in the world these days. She full-on thought I fled Nazi Germany. Back in 992,000 I was in the US with my German girlfriend at the time and we convinced my roommates that Germans live in tippis. Some wigwams already had power but not all. I worked at a meat desk for a summer job, and a woman came in and asked if we had any meat without spices or sauces. She then proceeded to tell us that the doctor had said that her dogs got sick because she kept feeding them pizza and they couldn't handle the spices. She then said, "Oh, but they love pizza so much, I feel bad for them. I'm probably still gonna feed them pizza." I hate people like this who knowingly harm their children and/or pets' health. At least with children you can call CPS, but pets are sadly at these dumbasses' mercy. Animal abuse is reportable in a lot of places.